Today I'll be talking about The Spy Who Came In From the Cold by John le Carre. Published in 1963, this Cold War spy novel follows Alec Leamas, a British intelligence officer whose network collapses when his last agent, Karl Reimek, is shot at the Berlin Wall. The book stands out because it reshapes the spy genre. Instead of glamorous adventures, it focuses more on psychological pressure, political manipulation, and the emotional cost of espionage. In this presentation, I'm going to walk through the hook, the main characters, the plot, the major themes, and my own reaction and recommendations. What do you think spies are? They're just a bunch of seedy, squalid bastards like me. This quote immediately grabbed my attention because this line challenges everything people normally imagine about espionage. Instead of heroic or exciting, he describes spies as damaged people shaped by constant deception. It sets the tone for the rest of the story, bleak, realistic, and honest about how destructive this world can be. The quote makes me curious about what Leamas has been through and why he feels so broken, which I think pulls the reader deeper into the novel. Here's some characters: Alec Leamas, Liz Gold, Control, Hans-Dieter Mundt, and Fiedler. The novel revolves around a small but important circle, Leamas being the central character, a worn-down spy sent on a final undercover mission. Liz Gold is a kind and idealistic librarian who becomes connected to Leamas and eventually caught in political danger that she never asked for. Control is the mastermind behind the mission who quietly manipulates everyone involved. On the East German side, Mundt is a powerful and ruthless intelligence officer, while Fiedler is highly intelligent and determined to prove that Mundt is secretly working for the British. Their rivalry, political, ideological, and personal, creates most of the tension in the story. This novel takes place in major Cold War locations such as London, West Berlin, East Berlin. The opening scene is at Checkpoint Charlie, which is a checkpoint on the Berlin Wall where Reimek is shot, and it immediately shows the danger surrounding their work. The Berlin Wall serves as a literal and symbolic barrier between truth and illusion. Everywhere the characters go feels bleak, suspicious, and divided, and that makes every conversation feel tense. The setting shapes the mood of the novel and constantly reminds the reader how dangerous the world is. Starting with the beginning plot, after Reimek is killed, Leamas returns to London in defeat, and Control gives him a final mission that requires him to fake a breakdown. Leamas loses his job at the bank, spirals into drinking, gets arrested, and seems to hit rock bottom. All of this is staged to convince East German agents that he's been abandoned by his own service and might be willing to betray them. His supposed downfall becomes the foundation for his undercover identity. Moving on to the middle plot, eventually East German operatives recruit Leamas. He's taken across the border and interrogated repeatedly in a rundown intelligence building. During these sessions, he gives carefully chosen information to appear credible without exposing the real plan. Fiedler becomes convinced that Leamas' testimony proves Mundt is a British double agent, and this fuels a legal battle between the two men. During the hearings, Leamas begins to realize he may not understand the full mission, and Control may be using him in ways he didn't expect. There's several themes in this novel, but I think the major ones are betrayal, moral ambiguity, and the human cost of espionage. The novel shows that both sides, British and East Germans, are willing to lie, sacrifice people, and twist the truth to protect themselves. Instead of presenting a clear good and bad side, the book blurs the lines and creates a gray area. The final scenes at the Berlin Wall, especially the fate of Liz, show how ordinary people pay the price for political systems that see them as expendable. Moving on to the personal connection, the novel reminded me of realistic and modern shows like The Americans, where tension comes from psychological pressure instead of action scenes. It also made me think about how governments today still use secrecy, misinformation, and propaganda. I connected most with Liz because she represents regular people who are pulled into conflicts far beyond their control, and her confusion and vulnerability made the story feel more personal and emotional. Moving on to my academic response, John le Carre's writing style is slow, subtle, and very realistic. Much of the tension is built through dialogue, small clues, and careful pacing, especially in the interrogation and courtroom sequences. Symbolically, the Berlin Wall reflects the emotional coldness and division in the world of espionage. The novel does require close reading because important details are revealed gradually, but that careful structure makes the ending more powerful. Some final thoughts. Overall, I would strongly recommend The Spy Who Came In From the Cold to readers who enjoy realistic mysteries. It's not very fast-paced, but its moral depth and emotional weight make it a great read. The ending especially highlights the true cost of loyalty and shows how damaging espionage can be in the real world. Because of its psychological detail, powerful themes, and historical realism, it remains one of the most important Cold War novels ever.